Okay, boys, so we just graduated. How do you feel about it? I personally feel really excited.
Kind of excited, kind of anxious because we kind of lost that easy purpose we had.
Feeling a little
Uh,
bit nostalgic also
yeah, school
about
was
the
like
good old
12 euros
days.
for us. I think it's 12 euros for most people, but yeah,
Yeah,
12
you're
euros
right.
quite a long time. Yeah.
Shouldn't
Anyways,
we introduce ourselves? Yeah.
yeah, we decided to make a podcast, and it's our three chem boys. We all study advanced chemistry. We graduate that like the English language school in Plovdiv. We've been friends for quite some time, 5 years
Yeah.
when we met, and I'm personally going to like kill myself in chemical engineering. My two friends are gonna be in misery for I think 10 years in medicine, but they chose it and I chose it, so we were kind of happy with that. This is Ovanes. We call him Ovi. Introduce
Yeah,
yourself, Ovi.
it's me. Yeah, I'm Ovi. I plan to go to the Medical University of Plovdiv. I
Yeah,
really like chemistry and biology, and I'm interested in science, just like a regular nerd. And
yeah, total nerd.
a total nerd. Yeah. And the other guy is
Fucking
called
closer.
Alex. Yeah.
Yeah, Alex, say something, man.
Yeah, hi for me. I'm also going to study in the Plovdiv Medical University, and
Hopefully.
I'll, I'll describe
Hopefully.
myself as a sneakerhead and as a fashion obsessed guy. I also love collecting different figures and Lego, Bear Brick, hobby model related stuff. And also,
Crazy
I'm
guy.
to do my best at trading stocks while preparing for university. So yeah,
I think
Yeah,
that we
and
perfectly fit the definition for a nerd, all of us.
yeah,
yeah.
I'm I'm like a rare Pokemon type nerd. I'm a dancer nerd. I'm studying chemistry, physics, and mathematics. I'm called Thomas, but you can call me Tommy anytime. Uh, and that's pretty much everything about me. I dance. I dance hip hop and traditional Armenian dances. I like going out, but I kind of dislike people. So I know how I exist in society, but that's that. And we have a very interesting topic for today, as for our first and probably best podcast uh, about graduation. It's a hard theme, but everyone can relate, so I think it's pretty good as a starting point.
Yeah, definitely. So, what are your thoughts on it? I personally believe that, just as you have said, we had that routine and those plans that were created for us before we were born, and now
Yeah.
we have to make our own choices in life. There is no one to blame for your own faults, no one to blame for actually making you study anything, or you choose
Or
now,
government.
you choose it by yourself. Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
your government, but usually the subjects you choose in university, you're allowed to choose them yourself.
Yeah,
Not
yeah,
all of
yeah.
them, yeah.
And you
Uh,
had most of your days of the week planned. You know, you got up, went to school, studied, then again went to school, and it was this routine going on for 5 years. And
both.
now it's this overwhelming freedom that you suddenly have after graduating, and planning your future.
Tell me about it. Right now, our situation is that these guys here have exams coming in the 3rd of next month, I think,
Yeah.
and I just finished my exams. So this already my second day being a free man, and it's kind of awful, man. Because I have no idea what to do right now, and I'm trying to organize my life in some way,
We're kind of
but
lucky.
it's not very successful. Yeah.
Yeah, I should say that we're kind of lucky for having to study for another a month and a half preparing for our
Uh,
exams.
I wouldn't
It
say
sounds
lucky.
but it sure is. You can relate it to it.
I
Well,
wouldn't say lucky exactly.
Yeah,
not
but
like
you can
exactly,
relate
yeah.
to what I'm saying.
I mean, we are still allowed to feel that emotion of having to study for something, but it's going to last only 1 more month. And
Yeah,
I prefer to feel free and not to care about my entry exams for the university, which I hopefully won't fail as I was you. But the thing about
Hopefully.
being free is totally true, and it might be frightening because now in our country we have health insurance, and it is usually paid by the school
Yeah, yeah,
or the
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
university. And we just received a message like a day ago in our Skolo app. This is the app where you get your grades and you connect with your teachers. And the headmaster of our school sent a message saying that from the beginning of the next month, we will have to pay our own health insurance. And that's just the moment you feel like, okay, here we go. Like,
Yeah, it
good.
basically
Yeah,
says to our faces, boys, get it all together. Real life is starting.
yeah, but it's also exciting. Many people ask me, how do you feel about going to the Netherlands because I'm going in another country to study? They're like, what about you? The friends you have here? What about family? And I say, more than anything, right now I'm excited about it. I think now's the time to be excited. When I go there, it's fucking awful. I'm not gonna be so excited anymore, but I think now is the right moment to capture that feeling of having expectations of something better, at least.
It's also you're going to have a whole separate life from your family, and you're going to deal with all your struggles alone in another country. So it's maybe a little bit frightening, but I think also very exciting for you.
Yeah,
It's
right
maybe
now
new
I'm
adventure you're having.
uh, I'm in the years of my life where I'm thinking that freedom is the best thing and that being free from my parents and this and that is gonna be all great and like oh sunflowers, as we say in
Yeah.
Bulgarian. But I don't think it's gonna be like that. I think I'm just like maybe imagining some things about living in another country, but let me live in my own
Yeah, a bit of
illusions.
daydreaming. Yeah, a bit of daydreaming.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I don't believe that you'll be that excited when your physics curriculum starts, but
Don't talk to me about that, man.
I wish you luck. Yeah. Well, how did you feel about going to school? Do you feel nostalgic, or do you feel happy not being obliged to go there anymore?
Well,
Mm,
I
yeah.
personally for myself, I think that there's a little bit of nostalgia still left in me. You know, the school you're going to every day for 5 years, 5 times a week, and also the friends you made there, and you could greet in the halls of the school and meet. Now we're all going in our separate directions, our separate ways, and we don't know if and when we'll meet again. So there's this nostalgia. But as I said, I'm also very happy for and excited for what the future has in store for me, and I can't wait to open this new page in my life because I really got tired of this same routine at school.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was dragging about so much time, and I think I'm finally glad it's over.
Well,
You
now you have
know,
more time. Yeah.
yeah, for me, it was like when I was in school, in class, I hated it most of the time. Some of the time
Yeah,
it was very interesting. We have some great teachers, we had some great classes,
yeah, yeah.
but more than anything, at least in the last few months, it became fucking boring. Like you can't do anything. You just sit
Yeah,
and stare at some blank space in at some blank point in space, and you wonder
yeah,
what the
totally.
hell are you doing in school? Because you could be doing so much more, like preparing for exams and studying anything else, or like playing games or talking with friends, which we did, of course, but still, it felt like a waste of time.
Oh,
So I'm
I feel
happy
the
that
same way
it
totally.
ended.
would
Yeah.
probably make a point here saying that in our country, when you get into 12th grade, you start preparing for your university exams, and the most of the teachers actually don't teach anymore because there is no one in class. And except for our Bulgarian teacher who
Oh yeah.
kept teaching us because we had a Bulgarian exit exam. Nothing else was happening in the other classes, and it was a complete waste of time, especially the last 2 to 3 months. And it was better to stay at home and study. But now, personally, I feel like I have the whole time of the day, but I can't actually concentrate and do anything because I partially feel tired of having to study for like a whole year because that's how long it takes to prepare for the exams for the
Medical
medical
exams.
university. Yeah,
Yeah.
and some people prepare for 2 years, and you have to be
Some people
really
even more.
disciplined. Yeah, even more. And if school has taught us something, it is that to try and be disciplined and create your own schedule, which I'm not really sure if it succeeded into teaching us. Like some of us
Well,
Kind of.
learned it, but
I think that
Kind
it
of.
shaped our characters a lot because of the people you meet there. And as you said, you have to be strict with yourself. You have to be concentrated in order to pass your tests, in order to graduate with good marks. And I think it did teach us a lot of stuff, and it couldn't cover everything, but I think we most of us got the most out of it.
yeah, you're right. I personally really liked school because I met a lot of new people there, and I'm a nerd, which is partially explains why I like school. But yeah, um, I really do feel nostalgic, probably more than you do feel nostalgic now, because I met a lot of guys there, a lot of cool teachers, and
Yeah.
you feel
The
that bond with
teachers were
them.
awesome.
Yeah, and especially in our last year of school, in our chemistry
Especially,
classes,
yeah.
yeah, we were allowed to feel like we were actually university students because our chemistry teacher, well, he's a really cool guy. He might be that serious sometimes, but he's really passionate about his job, and he makes you feel as if what you're doing is important. And it is important, actually. I've heard from other guys that other 12th graders that our level in chemistry is quite high compared to the normal level of chemistry
Chemistry, yeah,
classes.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I totally
He
agree.
helped us a lot, definitely.
Yeah, he puts a lot of effort in what he's doing, and he has developed really good teaching methods. So
Yeah, so probably the main reason that we actually like school, at least partially, is because of him. If it hadn't been
Yeah,
for
but
him,
not only for me, almost all of our teachers were very great and taught us a lot of things, which sounds very cliche, but uh, maybe if not for one or two exceptions, I would say that all of our teachers in high school were great.
yeah, our English teacher, our Bulgarian
Yeah,
teacher,
it was
our
very cool.
uh, German teacher, who
Yeah,
actually, yeah,
hmm,
she's a really cool woman. Like allowed us
he's a
to,
character.
she allowed us not to study because she knew that we were preparing for something else. But should someone of us need help, she would always give it to us.
Yeah,
yeah, she was very helpful, definitely. She was perfect for 12th grade, like just in time.
yeah. She
Okay,
gave us the freedom we needed.
so okay. So to sum up, did school teach you anything that you could actually use in real life, except for discipline, because we have already mentioned it?
Well,
Uh, yeah, for me, a lot of things.
How to do
Uh,
research, probably
I'm not even talking about science right now. School
in
taught me
general.
that, yeah, everything is personal. Absolutely
Yeah,
everything is personal. And if you want to succeed, you need people. even if
You need
it's
team,
a
yeah.
very shitty truth. Yeah, not even a team. You just need people. Not even people to like
Like
you.
connections.
You need people not to hate you. You need just people.
I think it also helped us a lot in creating our own methods of studying that we could further use at university.
In the future, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, in order to learn faster and succeed more.
Yeah, I relate. Like, it taught me how not to die when I have to learn 2 or 3 lectures because my test is the following day, which might be helpful considering the fact that the curriculum in the medical schools is huge and you usually don't have enough time to prepare.
Actually, many people in Plovdiv, the city we study in, joke about that our school is the school of the elites. And to be completely fair, our principal and the vice principals kind of perpetuate that. I mean, in the 10th grade, when we had like for the USA people like A-level exams, final exams, uh, our principals were going around the school saying that we have to
You're the reputation of our school because
we have
the
to
students in
save the
chemistry
reputation of
failed.
our
Yeah,
school because 12th graders failed us, and that left a stain upon our good name and this and that. But it's probably actually the best school in Plovdiv because if nothing else, it holds the highest standard, at least of
yeah,
students
and it has
going there.
traditions. Yeah, you're
Yeah,
right.
in
Oh,
comparison to other schools, though, at least.
I like to say that we might not be the elite of Plovdiv, but we're probably the only normal school left in Plovdiv, where students actually study and there are actually lessons going on, and there is a process of teaching and learning. There is actual education, because in many other schools, believe me, I don't know how it is in your countries, but in our country, uh, it is quite common sight for the classroom not to be empty but actually to be loud and no education process to be carried, and
Yeah,
it usually is a complete waste of time actually going to school. And even if you want to study, say for example you like chemistry but you're not really good at it,
yeah, we're
you
not great
only
at
fail because there is no one to teach you, because you can't even hear the teacher or your classmates. They don't have any ambition to succeed. They don't want to study with you, and you have to choose either to feel alone or join them. And that's actually the steep curve to degradation, in my own opinion.
I think we should say that there are like maybe 5 top schools in Plovdiv that are still going strong, and
I
other
think
like if
top is a strong word
Yeah,
for our situation right now. I think we have like 5 possible schools
yeah.
in Plovdiv. Uh,
all
two
right,
of
but I
them.
think that we described the
Oh, correct.
situation a little bit harsher than it is in reality.
Well, I believe this is exactly the way it is. Like, I don't know if you have friends from, say, for example, the maths high school. I don't know how to call it. Yeah, they specialize in
Yeah,
maths.
the
But I've
Yeah,
mathematics.
I've
yeah,
got some. I've got some.
I've heard that there are no teachers to teach in the classes, so
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah.
they're actually dismissed, and they like spend uh,
Yeah,
2 or 3 uh, hours in the school, and after that they're dismissed and they go home and they do nothing.
and this is supposed to be like the second or third best school in our
Yeah,
city. Yeah, I see where you're
Right now,
coming from.
probably
Yeah,
second. Probably second right now.
yeah. It
yeah.
also has traditions. Don't get me wrong, but in the recent years it has been failing. It has been going down the path downward. So I don't
You
think
know,
they can compare with us.
everything has been failing. I had to go to I had to return some books to my physics teacher. She actually didn't teach me personally, but I know her because she's very cool and I like physics.
Yeah, she
And
supported you.
so yeah, and so I had to go to class to return the books, and actually somehow managed to intrude on one of the ongoing classes. And I had to sit like 15 minutes in there because I wanted to. It was interesting. and it was
Yeah, you enjoyed it.
it
Yeah.
was awful.
Oh,
The
Uh,
students were dumb, if you know what I mean. Dumb, like just avoiding their eyes.
if I may, I just want to quickly mention something, just
Yeah.
not related to the topic we're talking to. Well, I know that my friend here, Ovi, is a big Paramore fan.
yeah.
So I just came across a post in Instagram from Complex Music, and it says that Lil Uzi Vert's dream was to sing with Paramore's
Keanu
leading
Reeves.
singer, yeah, and his dream actually came true, and he came out during a Paramore show, and they actually did,
Stuck together.
yeah, they actually sang together and did some
Yeah.
fire stuff.
I'll definitely watch that. I haven't received that news yet, but yeah, thank you, thank you.
Yeah, I just saw it in my Instagram feed. Yeah, I think it's
This
interesting
is the
one for
most
you.
Alex way to interrupt a conversation while
Yeah,
recording
just,
a
just I
podcast.
No way to interrupt the conversation, like
I
Yeah,
couldn't just
matters to
pass
me.
it. I couldn't pass it. I mean,
you're Paramore Stan. Of course, it's a good way for you.
and
Okay,
I should
let's
quickly
go on.
mention here that I'm
Yeah,
a big Lana Del Rey stan and Juice WRLD stan. So yeah,
yeah, extremely important piece of information, right?
Yeah,
Uh,
everybody.
you will be constantly reminded of it one way or another.
I
So
think
get
that
used
we
to it.
should
Get used to it.
carry on with the stupidity in the Bulgarian classroom nowadays.
Oh
In
yeah.
the
Yeah.
physics.
So it was in the ninth grade, and there was a presentation going on.
They're studying
And the
mechanics, right?
presentation, what?
Mechanics and electricity. These topics,
It was electricity mostly.
electricity. Okay.
But in that particular lesson, they were studying about uh, sound and ultrasound. So there was a presentation, and the presentation was kind of brain dead. Like she had put, imagine 5 slides. On the 5 slides, 2 pictures and maybe 5 or 10 words. And she
Interrupt.
had
Who was
memorized
presenting?
those 10 words.
Teacher
And
or the
what?
student? Who was presenting? The teacher or the student?
The student.
Oh,
It
that's
was
really
made
important
by
to
the
mention.
student.
Yeah.
It was made by the student and presented by the student. And after the lesson ended, and I just went to the teacher to give her the books, and I was like, "What the hell was that? That was awful." And the teacher was like, "I know they can't concentrate on anything for more than 5 minutes. And next lesson, I'm gonna examine her on the presentation," which for me was absurd because you prepare a topic, and then the teacher in the next lesson has to examine you on the topic you prepared because the
Because she probably
presentation
has no
were
idea
that bad.
what she's talking about, right? She
What?
just she learned it by heart before presenting it. She has no idea what she's talking about.
You didn't even learn by heart. She didn't do
Yeah.
the work. She
Oh,
learned 10 words by heart, which was
yeah.
insane for me because the whole presentation was her sitting in front of the class, trying to be pretty, and the teacher interrupting her like every second word to explain what she was talking about because she didn't know what she was talking about and didn't write anything.
Oh, can I mention something here that, in my own opinion, when you give a presentation, you should actually be aware of what you're talking about, and you're not supposed to read it from the whiteboard or from the PC. You're supposed to actually tell a story before the class and explain to them.
Present it.
Yeah, present. And in order to present it, you first need to understand it yourself. And
Yeah.
we have that's not a misconception. That's actually just students being negligent and not caring about doing their job, as most people in Bulgaria actually. Uh, when you go out in front of the class, you should try your best and actually present something, because these skills are actually part of those very few skills that have actually they can be applied in
Consequence.
real life. Yeah,
Yeah.
because believe me, when you go to the university and or you go to present something during a conference, you need these skills, and if you haven't acquired them during school, there is no other way to acquire them later on.
Um, what I talked about with her was about TikTok, and my personal theory is that TikTok and Reels and YouTube Shorts and everything else that every company, every social media is trying to copy. Every social media is trying to become TikTok. That's a topic
fact.
for another day. Yeah, but that is destroying our span, our
Our
attention
attention
span.
span, yeah.
Yeah,
It
Yeah,
shortens it.
because
basically shortens your attention span and you can't concentrate for longer times. You just need to
yeah,
put
you can only concentrate for about 5
something
minutes.
completely different. Yeah.
Yeah, it's insane.
That's really
Well,
affecting us in really bad ways. Our studying habits and our discipline, and they're intruding our whole way of working.
yeah, it interrupts us constantly, and it's not only the shorts or TikTok. It's actually Instagram itself. Opening it to check if you have received any messages and doing this
Yeah.
5 minutes.
Totally,
Yeah, but
totally.
I believe that this is a topic for another day, for another
Yeah.
podcast.
I
Yeah,
think that it's good to mention because we were talking about preparing for our
Life,
exit
probably.
exams.
Yeah.
No, about our exit exams at school and how important they are and how the headmasters were preparing us for them. And I think it's important to say that we have this mandatory exit tests at the end of our school year, which is in our home language, Bulgarian language. And it's very important for most students that apply in Bulgaria, or we should probably say for every student that is applying for university in Bulgaria, and even for us too, with Ovanes who are going to study here in Bulgaria. We also need the grade from this test in order to apply to medical university.
Yeah, and people who
And
study abroad actually need it too. I've heard that if you want to go to
really?
some universities in the Netherlands and Germany,
they're looking at it too. Yeah,
yeah, it goes into your diploma and they
Oh
check
yeah,
it.
yeah. They want your diploma grades. That's
yeah.
how another
So
thing.
so
Yeah,
basically,
technically.
what we were talking about and what came up in our thoughts days before the test in particular is that it is basically, well, I won't say pointless because this is a way of showing your grammar skills and vocabulary skills in your own language, which is important. But there is no other country, uh, as I know, that has such a exit test which carries so much weight. I mean, if you fail this one test that you only are able to take it once, unless you fail it and go to the similar session to try again. I mean, you basically don't have much chance in being accepted into university.
Yeah, you have no second chance if you get a C or B, and for some
Yeah,
universities they want A, and that's actually insane because
yeah,
uh, half of that test, even to be honest, more than a half, like 70% of that test is based not on your grammar skills, not on your lexical skills, but actually on your knowledge of some piece of literature that you're never going to need again in your life. And they want you to study some theory and actually regurgitate it during the exam, writing your
mhm.
uh, yeah, your literature essay. That is the way it's called.
And
And,
demonstrate writing skills, which
well,
not everybody
some
has.
writing skills, yeah, but I believe that it doesn't really matter if you have writing skills or not. You just need to regurgitate all that information that's written in your textbook. And
Yeah,
for me, it has no real life applicability because tell me how the theory for a piece of literature, let's say a story or some other kind of text, can be applied nowadays in real life. Like
yeah.
that's
No,
theoretical
There's no
knowledge.
way.
I've heard this argument many times from teachers in Bulgaria who also teaches the Bulgarian literature. They say that life is literature, and that's why it's useful to know literature because by knowing it, you can learn real life lessons about morality, for example, which you need a lot of actual life experience to learn the other way.
Well,
But
that's right, but we're not allowed to interpret them ourselves. We're
yeah,
made to
that's what I was
actually
gonna
study
say.
the theory. Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't really have the choice of making your own interpretation. You have to make the interpretation that the specialists in literature made before you
Not even
and
the
wrote in the
teachers. Yeah.
textbook. And if you don't, sorry, you're wrong. Your feelings are wrong.
Yeah. That's what they tell you. That's what they
Yeah.
told me.
Yeah.
Like, I don't remember if it was a story or a novel, but actually, the teacher asked me before we began studying it, how did I feel about it, and I told her how I felt, and I told her that this piece of literature instills, say, for example, passion or anger in me, and she was like, "Well, you interpreted wrong," and I said, "Well, that's how I feel about it after reading it." And she's like, "Well, you're wrong. Your emotions are wrong."
Your
Yeah,
feelings are wrong.
your feelings are wrong. Yeah.
Yeah.
Still, I think many people antagonize our Bulgarian teacher too much.
Well, yes, you're right. We shouldn't be that aggressive about it because they're only trying to do their job, and most of them are trying to teach us something, even though most of the students don't allow them to do so.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
think we should also mention foreign countries like other European countries or even the US or UK in here. Um, like they just only graduate and take their diploma, and that certain diploma can apply for every university. Whereas here we have, besides those exit tests, we also have entry tests in many universities.
You
Entry
know, that's not only Bulgaria, that's in many countries.
But all right, yes, that's totally true. But there are many countries that you can only apply with a diploma in many places, and you also don't have these two exit tests at the end of the year to
Yeah,
further,
you're kind of right.
yeah,
Well, we shouldn't
to further
forget that,
complicate.
yeah, we shouldn't forget that those entry exams that we have to do here are if we want to receive government funding for our education, because in our case, we want to study medicine, and you know that study medicine is extremely expensive. And we have a government program which gives funding to uh, a special number of students. I believe in the Medical University of Plovdiv it is like 75 boys and 75 girls, and we all attend these entry exams. And based on our points, rank list is created, and the first in the rank list receive government funding. And if you want to study medicine and you have failed the tests and you want to study the very same year, you have to pay the full price, which is actually impossible to pay for middle class people.
Yeah.
So you're not,
Middle class is dying sheeple.
yeah,
Save the
it's
middle
dying.
class.
Yeah. Well, but I believe that we have covered the main topics that we prepared for this video, like we introduced ourselves, and by discussing those other topics related to university, high school life, and things like this, we've managed to introduce the audience to our beliefs and viewpoints.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, they still need a lot more to actually know what kinds of people we are, but it's a good basis, I would
Yeah,
say.
it's a good start. Yeah,
Yeah,
a
it's a
good
good
way to
start.
spend the evening because we are recording this in the evening, actually. Yeah, it's
Uh,
almost midnight.
it's 11:11. Make a
Uh,
wish.
yeah, make a wish. uh, well, guys, I guess that's it. Bye from me, and yeah, bye.
I hope you find
Um,
our podcast interesting and in help.
I wouldn't say help. We're just like 3 18-year-olds who have Who
Yeah, but
cares what
somebody
better to do?
provided
But
it, bro. Somebody
still,
provided it, bro. In some
yeah.
extent.
We hope you enjoyed our convo. We'll come with part 2, I think, soon, possibly. And
Potentially.
yeah, potentially. And hopefully you'll hear from us again.
Yeah, see you soon. Bye.
Bye bye.